morning, church family. Alex Wooten here for our weekly coffee and the Word. Last week we discussed finding peace in the middle of all the chaos, of all the things coming in around you, of all the things that are causing you to struggle and fall, but finding peace in those moments. And today, week 4, we're discussing coming to the table out of Luke chapter 5, verse 29 through 32. Then Levi held a great banquet for Jesus at his house, and a large crowd of tax collectors and others were eating with them. But the Pharisees and the teachers of the law complained to his disciples, "Why do you eat and drink with tax collectors and sinners?" Jesus answered them, "It's not the healthy who go to the doctor, but the sick. I haven't come to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance." Let me take you into this scene. Levi's home smells of roasted lamb and sweet fig bread. There's music in the background, a faint, probably clumsy little cousin on a lyre just sitting there just strumming it. And the table is packed elbow to elbow with people that no one else would ever want to be seen with. Tax collectors, petty criminals, men who had made a career off of betrayal. And this was Levi's crowd. And today, Levi is a man who has changed. Just a few verses earlier, Jesus had walked by Levi's tax booth and said 2 words, "Follow me." And his first instinct, not a sermon, not a new robe, was a feast. He throws a party and he invites Jesus. But the guest list, that's where that tension starts to begin. The Pharisees linger near the doorway, their eyebrows arched. They whisper not to Jesus, but to his disciples. "Why does your teacher eat with them? Why would a holy man associate with unholy?" And Jesus, overhearing, answers quite plainly with what he says. The healthy don't go to the doctor unless you're dealing with my insurance and they got to go once a year. But it's the sick who go to it. "I don't come for the people who've got it all together," he says. "I come for the ones who know that they're broken." Pause there for a second. Ponder that with me. In that moment, Jesus is choosing to dine with outcasts. This isn't a historical footnote. This is the start of a pattern. Over and over in the Gospels, Jesus is found around tables, around food, at the wedding in Cana, at Zacchaeus' house, with Mary and Martha, with the fishermen by a charcoal fire. On the night of his betrayal, he broke bread with the one who would end up handing him over. The Son of God could have chosen lecture halls, marble temples, the highest of highest places to be, but so often he chose dinner tables. Why? Because sitting at a table says something a pulpit can't always say. A table says, "You're welcome here." It says, "You matter enough to sit with. You are not forgotten." I want to bring this a little closer to home. Have you ever felt like you didn't belong? Like, maybe the people in your local congregation, maybe the people at your church had their stuff together, or at least it seemed to you outwardly, but you were just trying to stay afloat? Have you ever looked around and said, "If they knew my story, they wouldn't want me there"? Friend, brother, sister, whoever you are, I promise you, Jesus knows your story and there's an empty chair waiting for you there. And you see, this message is for the tired dad who feels like he's failing, for the single mom who hasn't heard thank you in weeks, for the teenager who messed up last weekend and doesn't realize or know if God still wants them, for the senior who sits alone at night wondering if their best years are behind them. There is and always will be a place for you. Not at the edge, not at the door, not in standing room only. There is a place at the table with him in the middle of the meal. So what do we do with that? What would you do? We do what Levi did. We throw a banquet. We use what we've got, however small, to create a place for someone. That could mean opening your literal table to a neighbor, a coworker, someone who's been drifting away. It could mean sitting your phone down just long enough to listen, really listen to someone's pain. Or maybe it's just showing up to church and scooting over in your pew to make room for somebody. Because people don't come to faith through perfection, they come through welcome. So this week, every morning with your coffee, picture a table. Picture Jesus reclining there with you, laughing, listening, pouring a cup, passing the bread. Picture an empty seat. Not by accident. It's been saved for you. Come to the table. There's healing. There's grace. There's Jesus. And if you've already taken your seat, don't forget to turn around and invite someone else to join you. I'm Alex Wooten. If you like these videos, like them, share them, subscribe. Let's get our church growing through a little coffee and the Word.